Hi. So I thought I'd put out my ice cold take on The Kingsman. I entirely skipped The Kingsman Golden Circle, the one that's in the West, apparently. I saw the first one and enjoyed it thoroughly, although um, that part where Colin Firth slaughters his way through a church service while Freebird is playing in the background was equal parts disturbing and entertaining. Um, but it was interesting enough to make me come back for this prequel set from, I believe, what's supposed to be 1905 to the end of World War One, starring Ralph Fiennes, who I will follow wherever. His taste in scripts are impeccable. The Kingsman is an interesting mess, I'd say. And I think my main problem with it is that it really can't decide where it stands on violence and war. In the beginning of the movie, Ray finds his wife is killed, and this starts a lifelong pacifism, and he goes through the next several, not several, the rest of his son's young life trying to keep him protected from all violence and military service, which is gets completely impossible once World War One breaks out. Um, and there's a very big subplot about there being a hidden cabal of power players organizing the whole thing, which is odd because it both acknowledges that this is all happening because all of the head of states and all the monarchs of Europe are interrelated, and it was all caused by a various. For instance, Tom Hollander is playing the King of Germany and the King of England and Tsar Nicholas, which makes sense because it's one family spread all over the European continent. But and from my understanding, most of that war happened because of a list, because lots of different alliances that were triggered by this one assassination, and bolstered by nationalism and fighting for land and the power plays that wars are always based on. But the movie has, yeah, this, like I said, this secret cabal of very evil people behind the scenes that are pulling the strings and making these things happen. Um, a secret cabal that includes Rasputin, who is very big in this movie, played by Rhys Ifans, and that is exactly, actually, even more fun than it sounds. Um, but but like I said, my main problem with this movie is that, yeah, Ralph Fiennes is a pacifist through most of the movie, and the movie goes to really good lengths to show the pointless brutality of World War One. There's this incredible scene where like a small unit of German soldiers and a small unit of British soldiers have to very, very quietly come out of the trenches, climb over into no man's land, into the place, and then, brutally beat each other to death, again, for no reason. um, Ray finds his character's son had been trying to enter the war since it broke out. And he's like, I want to be out there. I want to be out there fighting. And Rafe is saying, like, this isn't fighting, it's just dying. They're just going there to die. I'm not going to let you do this. So, for most part, the movie has a fairly realistic view of the futility of violence and the brutality of war, and specifically this war. But on the other hand, it becomes a very standard action film where violence is a lot of fun. So much fun to watch. And with a really awesome fight scene between Ray Fiennes and Rhys Ifans. But I just wish it had decided where it stood, is what it comes down to.